It hasn't always been like this. When the African National Congress was founded in 1912, women could not be members.
We have our grannies here.
But since 1931, when the Bantu Women's League was formed, women have gone from being caterers and singers to warriors. It was the Women's March of August 9, 1956 that made international headlines, with up to 20,000 women marching to the union buildings to protest the country's past laws. That same year, 1956, Lillian Ngoyi, who was the president of the Women's League, became the first woman member of the NEC.
It is because women have always been there in the struggle for the liberation of the people of South Africa. They've always been there.
When the ANC was banned in 1960, inroads made by women towards integration were dealt a blow. And only in 1984 did the movement accept the term non-sexist for its objective to now be the creation of a united, non-racial, non-sexist and democratic society. For the first time in 1997, when Thabo Mbeki was elected to succeed Nelson Mandela as president, some wanted Winnie Madikizela Mandela to be his deputy. She was not nominated by the branches. A delegate from the Northwest, Yvonne Makune, nominated her from the floor. She broke with tradition and interrupted the proceedings.
What's happening?
But Winnie crossed the room to make her unexpected announcement.
Comrades, I had wanted to consult with the structures so that I do not appear to be divisive to my organization.
Comrade Winnie, this election process has been run by the electoral people there next to you. So that's where the decision should come from about this.
Winnie declined the nomination amid cheers by delegates, and Jacob Zuma was announced deputy president of the ANC. Some say her fallout with the late former president Nelson Mandela usurped her confidence, but others say even the reaction to her nomination was underwhelming and she saved face. President Mbeki would later appoint South Africa's first female deputy president in 2005 and in the process launch her on the world stage.
We have passed, for instance, just in 2 years, 104 laws in 60 countries. Now, implementation is really the test, but implementation in most countries, including South Africa, is still not as good as it is. South Africa, we didn't have to help with the passing of the laws because the laws were already there in place, but we are struggling with implementation.
Baleka Mbete was the second woman to occupy the deputy presidency, appointed by former President Kgalema Motlanthe from September 2008 until May 2009. The Constitution does not provide for quotas for representation of women in elected public bodies, nor are there any legal quotas established for national or provincial elections, but the ANC has had a 50-50 representation policy since 2010. Today, 2 of the ANC top 6 are women. Of the 72 ministers and deputy ministers, 34 are women. As the race for the presidency of the oldest liberation movement on the continent hots up, 3 of the 7 possible contenders are women, and the Women's League has taken a stand.
In the Women's League, we agreed about Comrade Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, and therefore the blouse supports Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma.
That means Lindiwe Sisulu, who has declared her interest, and Baleka Mbete, who hasn't, have to fend for themselves to get the backing of women in structures. This could also mean the United Front of Women has once again been dealt a blow like it was in the past.
The lobbying, the engagement, the horse trading, which is currently going on, is happening at the level of the African National Congress, and that's where we are.
How many of the more than 5,000 delegates going to the elective conference will be women?
The Women's League must continue mobilizing women along the issues that affect them.
We have just begun to consolidate a broad network of stakeholders that I have been courting to support the agenda for gender equality.
Certainly, I don't think there is any African country which is not ready for a woman president. I think all of us are.
Will the women of the ANC echo these words in their actions? Will they pull their weight both in the branches and at the conference for one of them to take the top seat of the ANC come December? Ntakwana Ngatani, SABC News, Johannesburg.